easiest way for a beginner to make a collar is to make a detachable collar. The first collar is the V-neck collar, and I've actually listed it in my Etsy store. The other two collars, I'll show you how to make those from a paper plate. Okay, the first thing you do is measure the doll's neck loosely. Mine is 7.5 inches. I'm sure there's a math formula on how to do this, but creative people don't have time to do math. So in order to make the neck opening, I'm just going to put down that 7.5 inch measurement and just draw inside loosely. And then I'm going to take my compass and find the middle of the paper plate and draw a neater circle. I'm adjusting it. There you go, no math. And I'm showing you how I found the center of my paper plate. And the reason I'm using a paper plate is it just seems to be the exact measurement that I want, the exact width of the collar. So you cut the outer part of the paper plate off, then you go inside and cut the the collar opening. I'm trying it on my doll, the pattern part, and just to see how much of an overlap I want. And I'm tracing with the pencil how much I can cut off. Give yourself about 1/2 inch of overlap. Place your new pattern on 2 pieces of fabric and draw with a pencil. You're going to sew one side closed and leave the other side open. Cut about 1/4 or less from your seam. And you can cut right on the line on the side that you did not sew closed. Be sure to clip the seams as close as possible. Cut off your corners. And now you're ready to turn the fabric to the right side. Take some manipulation, and here it is, turned. And I'm using my knitting needle to make the corners sharp on that one side that you sewed close. I'm folding under about 1/4 inch or less, so they'll have a nice finish on the other side of the collar edge. take a few little hand-sewn stitches to close that side of the collar. I like to see round collars with gathered dresses. That's in a previous video. It also looks good on this little A-line dress. And all you have to do to make a Peter Pan collar is just to alter your round collar. And I did that on just a piece of paper. I cut out the round shape and folded it in half. I've folded it and I'm making sure that I've got the edges matched. You're going to sketch out a slight curve in the front of the collar. You can make it as high or as low as you want. This one's, the curve is a little bit low in the front. I'm just looking at it and adjusting it a bit, rounding it off more. The back curve is going to be, what's the word, skinnier. And I folded it so I would have the exact curve. And you see that it needs some adjustment when I opened it up. I'm just clipping that little edge that I made. And honestly, I just kind of eyeball it. If it looks good, I keep it. If it needs more trimming, I do that. And then fold it to make sure it's even once again. When you're satisfied with your pattern, you just lay it on top of your fabric. Put your lining on top of the right side of your fabric and draw your pattern with a pencil. This time I'm leaving an opening on the inside of the collar. I'm not sure you can see it. It's where the long thread is. And again, you cut 1/4 of an inch or less, and be sure to clip the curves and clip off the corners. You're ready to turn to the right side. And I like detachable collars because you can change the look of your outfits by different fabrics and different colors. The next Peter Pan collar I make, I'm going to make the front a little bit higher. And you can use different closures. And by the way, I'm making a video on all the different closures you can use for doll outfits. You could turn this collar around and round off the back. And once again, I thank you so much for watching.